Reverend Amishadai. You see, as a country, as a society, we learn from our experiences in the past, and as a living society, we try to evolve and to get better. This whole idea of having a public procurement authority was thought of at a point, all in an attempt to fight graft, which has become part and parcel of our people. You see, when we talk about instances like this, we also have to cast our minds back to where we have come from. I mean, I grew up in the 80s, so we saw the Kalabules, we saw the Kanyayais, we saw them, not just read, we saw how things evolved, even back in 79, how, public or justice had also, all of this. And so it was appropriate that within the evolution, there's a framework to take care of aspects of our lives. And those, as part of the evolution, public procurement it was a very sensitive thing. People enriching themselves on, in fact, sometimes you see some procurement documents, some pricing given to specific things, and sometimes it's kind of worrying. So this authority was put through, it's a whole framework with a backing of an act and all of that. And so you expect that we play within the framework. But human as we are, there's always a whole temptation and all of that. I won't sit here and declare that the fact that CHRAJ has come out with all these findings, it's an outcome of a process that CHRAJ undertook. Reverend Amishadai, like Senior said, it's been around for a while. Quite an experienced public servant. Rising to the level of Commissioner General. It's very significant. It's an experience. I recollect my time in Parliament, him coming to our finance committee and we having interactions. A very experienced man. And it's good that we also don't give judgments when people have not had their time in court. I'm not a lawyer though, but they hold the autem patem principle of natural justice very high. And I think as a community, as a society, we should also go by. It's good that after CHRAJ has come out with these findings, and it's whatever action it thinks has to be taken. Reverend Amishadai still has a day in court to what his lawyer, Honorable Penka, is saying. If they found
we
that
don't know
the
if
processes...
Honorable Penka is representing Reverend Amishadai. What we know is that he's representing the companies cited.
The companies cited. He's thinking that on the side of the private companies, if you said you want to buy this pen, per the act, there's a process. You get a number of people to bid, and based on some matrices, how you select. All of this has to be verifiable, and it has to be consistent. Has to be reliable per the act, such that a decision that you are going to take in that circumstances will not be very different from a decision that I would take faced with the same circumstances per the framework that we are dealing in. And so if he also, within the whole circumstance, takes a different decision, means that the whole framework lacks that consistency, that verifiability, all those matrices. And so then there's a problem. And when there's a problem, for me, I think that the ultimate, the law courts. If somebody thinks that this whole process is falling short of a certain requirement, the act is there for us. And so some of these things, I think that we should allow the processes to happen. We should allow people to have the opportunity to respond to some of these things. What I find very difficult is the public prosecution of some of these matters, even before people get an opportunity to respond. And it's a growing phenomenon which is quite worrying to me and to a lot of Ghanaians, where there's a public discussion of an issue already before you get to answer whatever allegations are against you. the public has formed an opinion. I mean, you have been prosecuted even before the case actually starts in court. And I think that that is something that is worrying. We should be able to give people the opportunity to respond to some of these allegations. We should be able to see some of these allegations go through the processes. And for me, the ultimate is a legal framework that we have all agreed that under the 1992 Constitution, this is going to be the ultimate. Because I still hold the fact that, look, we are in dangerous times, in a regime that has found it prudent to, one, remove the Chief Justice, two, make so many appointments to the Supreme Court, Appeals Court. The High Court is done with. You see, between me and you, between me and my senior here, when we have issues, the ultimate or the final arbiter is a court. And so when, before elections, we heard the NDC say severally that, oh, and 5-2, and now 5-0, and all of that, and a unanimous FC, and that when we come into power, we will make sure this changes. And we are, that is exactly
this
what
table
we
you
are
are
saying.
shaking. This invitation you are sending
exactly
to
what we have seen in the last 10 months. It's frightening. Now, it is frightening to me. Today, I won't sit here and castigate or cast any slur on a legal system. That is not of me. I think that we should hold that in sacrosanct. I mean, we should not be able to say things like that against a system that we all would finally, we will all go there to be subjects of those institutions, right? But when it happens like this, then you think that perhaps there is something under the table that we don't want to. No, we shouldn't. Unfortunately, this is where we are. There are so many other allegations of corruption against appointees of the previous government. But what I think is that, look, let us allow all of these things to go through the processes. Look, under the NPP government, we had cases go 7-8 years. The Opuni case, in fact, the financial sector cleanup issues that came out, the ambulance. They went the whole length until somebody like our current finance minister, I mean, the court ruled on him. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Let's allow some of this. Opuni case went for.
But they were all matters of national interest, so they were in the public.
Certainly.
Just as this one.
They would, but in this day and age, sometimes when you see or you listen to the Attorney General, you listen to some of the commentary that is coming, I think there's a preconception that this. In fact, they work from the end to the beginning. They work from the answer to the question.
Based on the investigations he has done, and he's convinced. I mean,
I have no qualms with that. I have no qualms with that. If CHRAJ went through the processes and they have come out with it, so be it.
Clearly, CHRAJ must have engaged Reverend Amishadai.
Oh, certainly. The good thing is that it is a decision by CHRAJ. And
based on its findings.
Based on its findings. If Reverend Amishadai and his legal counsel, if Honorable Penka and his clients find that there is some shortfall, they have their day in court, and that's good.
That's why CHRAJ has actually recommended to the AG to prosecute them.
That is what the society that we all want to support. But ultimately, that court that we are resorting to should also be an institution that we all have ultimate confidence in, without any shroud of any me going there and not getting justice. That should be guaranteed. But given what is transpired in the last 10 months,
as against the last 8 years?
In the last 8 years, all the allegations that came through, appointments to the Supreme Court, supposed unanimous FC and all of that, the people who were on the other side shouting at the top of their voices, oh, the courts have been packed by the NPP, the courts are NPP biased and all of that. So they have come to undo what they presumed was the situation. And this is what we see. I mean, the removal of the Supreme, the Chief Justice, for me, still remains a huge matter. It still remains a huge matter for me because of the administrative duties of the Chief Justice in realigning staff within the judicial service? What for expenses and I sat on one platform and I said, and my aim is that, look, if you talking about this, I recollect at the time there was a similar incident that had happened at Cocoa Board. I mean, in fact, it was on this platform that the Cocoa Board matter had come up. Some deputies and some directors had been realigned and some all of that. It happens so much, especially with our security service. So sometimes it's even funny within our security service when senior people are taken to workshops and tailoring shops and all of that just to make them feel that, look, yes, so we are in power and all of that. I mean, these are things that we could do better. We could get better at as a country. But you see, when based on such such matters, we deem it fit to remove the head of the judiciary, which is an arm of government. An arm of government. I dare say, and I've said it, that if you scrutinize the other heads of the two other arms of government based on such allegations, I'm not sure that it will end as well.
Well, Honorable Vanoko, and then let's tie it into the PDS.
Oh, that's why when you were speaking, I was quiet.
Let's tie it into the PDS.
You see, the interesting thing is that I'm happy my brother started on a very, very good tangent. This country has a history. And we all decided that the past has been so bitter, so we want to chart a different path with democratic governance. And we didn't want a repeat of those things we saw in the past.
True.
And as such, this democracy to be able to survive and prevent the occurrence of those bitter pasts, institutions have been created to safeguard the interests of the people. And that is one of it. CHRAJ, public procurement, and others. So, either two, people did not have confidence in public procurement processes. Like my brother said, the Kalabule and things were order of the day.
Yeah.
Public servants were buying things anyhow. There were no processes to go through auditing, and all. So, today, if we've all created an institution that will safeguard the interests of the people as far as procurement processes are concerned, to the extent that under President Akufo-Addo's regime, he even created a ministry and gave out a minister to be responsible for that.
Yeah.
And we all thought that was going to be a stimulus to prevent those infractions. And then we have a situation where people, in spite of all these, were abusing the system. Then it is important, as he said, that we look at the structure of the institutions. Yes, maybe we created the institutions, but over the period we will now see that people can still circumvent the powers and authority and that the institutions have. So what do we do to strengthen those same processes in order to make the objective and the mission we set for ourselves more prominent? That is one. And such things are what we are seeing today. I don't want my brother to make it seem political, because I don't think that CHRAJ has any political color.
No.
CHRAJ is an institution that all of us can go to.
Yeah.
It's an institution that protects ourselves, our rights. So it was good that this went to CHRAJ, and CHRAJ has come out. And CHRAJ, unlike the traditional courts, make recommendations, and then the prosecutorial authorities will now pick it up.
True.
And the person will have his day in court, as he said. I don't want this one to be politicized. This is not being seen as a political. It's somebody who was negligent in his duty, bypass advice and of let me say advise an authority that is supposed to go through. And so bringing in the Supreme Court and all this and this thing, to me, I thought was out of place. Out of place, unless if anyone want to do politics. And I don't know him to be doing that.
Right.
Yes, I thought that he was not one of the people who
that's what I was questioning against sending that invitation
because,
to you.
Look, because the fact is that still, how many people has President Obama appointed to the Supreme Court? 2.
Yeah.
2. Virtually 2. The other one, the third person, was already one of the nominees by the previous government.
Yeah.
Justice Dennis Ajay.
Yeah.
And
the law.
Yes. the law and one other person. What if you talk about we've never, and I don't think President Mama will ever get to even 20% of what Akufo-Addo did when it comes to the issue of the Supreme Court. I don't think he will do that, knowing him for who he is. President Mama, if you talk about the lower courts, it was your government that proposed that more appointments should be made to the lower courts because there were too many cases that the judges were handling. So you even proposed that we should have weekend courts. You understand? Which was untraditional though, but we all thought that if that will expedite justice, let's have it.
And a former CJ Sofia Akufu even just yesterday mentioned that we shouldn't cap the appointments to the Supreme Court because of the caseload.
Thank you. So the issue is something that all of us, and this issue of the Supreme Court, the capping and all the rest, have it become one of the issues that is before the Constitutional Amendment Committee.
Right.
So let's see. There are also people who are involved in the judiciary. They know what it is. Some of them are legal luminaries, like Professor Prempe and the rest. They know if the appropriate recommendations were made to all of us, it will come back to Parliament. You and I, our people are there, and they will vote on it, and we'll see what we have to do.